Hello and welcome back to another episode of Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast. Joining me today is everyone. The band is finally back together. I've been teasing it a couple times. We got JD, David, and Andy. So we are back. We have a jam-packed episode of Week in Geek. We have the new Punisher special trailer drop. Some DCU casting disputes, and also at the end we'll be covering Maul Shadow Lord episodes 1 and 2. And we also have a lot on the horizon and recently dropped episodes with Daredevil Born Again. We've been covering every episode of that. And then The Boys final season covered episodes 1 and 2 the other night. Jeremy and David just did a Road to Secret Wars coverage, so that was pretty cool. We're back on the road, getting primed for Doomsday as well. Like it said, it ties into Doomsday a little bit, you think, Jeremy?
Yeah, all kind of the same journey to him becoming the Emperor, whatever God Doom, and becoming the whatever of Secret Wars.
Cool. And also we have our gaming streams. I'm still doing the Batman Arkham Knight, and he's going to be firing up until dawn pretty soon, so stay tuned to socials for when that's going to come out. So before we get into the news of the week, Dave did miss our coverage of Daredevil and The Boys. So do you want to give some quick thoughts on how you're feeling on those seasons so far?
Yeah, Boys picked up real quick in the first 7 minutes.
Spoiler alert, I guess.
Seen so far, not much to spoil. So we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I got to catch up on The Boys. We're struggling to stay caught up on all of this content that's dropping right now. So thankfully, I have 3 other wonderful co-hosts here who are getting it done, and I'm the straggler here. So yeah, Boys, I got to get caught up on, but I am caught up on Daredevil. I've been really enjoying it, man. I'm loving Bullseye being brought into this. We're getting more Bullseye action, which is what I was hoping for from last season. I won't say anything too spoilery about Daredevil either, but really enjoying it. The black suit is just the best suit in the MCU. Still, I'll stand by that. It's perfection for me. I have no notes on it. I'm really liking the whole dynamic with Fisk running the city and Matt being missing. Daredevil running around recruiting an army. I'm really enjoying it. It's a great, strong start for the second season. It's still got a ways to go. You know, they still got to pull off some stuff to match Netflix's quality, but I really think they're on pace so far. So really enjoying the season so far.
Hell yeah. So there was a spoiler that came out the other day. It was confirmed about the Watcher being in episode 4. Did you guys see that?
Was that real, or was that the dude just making a tongue-in-cheek comment because there was a couple of lights in a broken window that looked like the Watcher?
Andy? Oh, you're muted?
-1 point.
You're muted?
Still muted.
Fuck's sake. Yes, confirmed to be real. Brad, who's the head of Marvel TV, absolutely confirmed it. That they're obviously building up to Doomsday and Secret Wars, and the Watcher will be part of that. And so he's now popping up all over the place. So it's very unlikely that they would just have a shape that has the shape of the Watcher's head and 2 eyes for no reason. It wouldn't just be a coincidence. So they said that it was an intentional thing.
There we go. And the last time Kingpin lost Vanessa, he tore a hole in the multiverse, and of course, Spider-Verse movies. So he's known to get a little crazy, which would bring the Watcher. He's like, oh shit, like Kingpin lost Vanessa again. He might do some wild shit, you know?
Interesting. And remember, he said he wanted to like conquer other worlds, which Andy and I decided that's probably just whatever, nothing to look too deep into. But it's interesting you bring up the Spider-Verse thing because, yeah, like Toby and Andrew were a part of that, right? In that same interweb of Spider-Verse.
Yeah, kind of.
So
sure.
if Kingpin actually affected something on a multiversal scale. But still, this is the last project I would expect to bleed into Doomsday and Secret Wars. The last project I would expect the Watcher to actually show up. So that is really weird.
They used it so well, though. Just looking in the window, could only see it if you really saw it. So
that's cool. But what he's supposed to only look at things that are supposed to have galactic proportions. You know what I mean? So I don't.
Right? Why is he watching Daredevil running around? I don't know. Maybe he's just keeping tabs because Daredevil has a larger role to play in the future.
He likes the new suit. Who knows?
Exactly. You know what? That's probably it.
I had to check this one out. Hey guys.
Well, keeping it in the Daredevil universe, we got our first trailer for the Punisher special presentation. Frank searches for a meaning beyond revenge when an unexpected force pulls him back into the fight. Premiering on Disney Plus May 12th, right after Born Again finishes up. So let's throw it to Jeremy first. What did you think about this Punisher trailer? Does it bring back those OG vibes for you?
I can't. I have the same thing with Dune. Like, it didn't really tell me anything too plot wise. You're not supposed to expect that from a teaser trailer from Dune, but I'm saying I know I'm going to expect great cinematography with Dune and the technology and sand, and I know I'm going to expect violence and anger and the Punisher killing people. So it's just like, yeah, I'm glad to have. It's really cool to have a trailer. It's real, right? It's going to be coming out pretty soon. I'm very excited for the show. Trailer's fine. Yeah.
Dave, you want to throw some thoughts in there?
Yeah, I didn't think the trailer was mind blowing or anything like that. But I just enjoyed it because, like I mentioned to you guys, it felt. I love the Punisher season, the 2 seasons on Netflix. I really like it. I feel like it's kind of criminally undermentioned. I feel like it's not one of the most watched series on Netflix. Everybody knows of the Daredevil series, but I don't feel like everybody went to the Punisher series. And I think it's really, especially season 1. I think season 1 has done really well. And that's just the vibes I got from the trailer. It felt like Punisher season 1 and 2. So I'm stoked for it. And the fact that, well, we can get on that later. I'm stoked for it.
Andy, do you think they're going to do a origin story again? Think they're telling it one more time?
No. I mean,
with flashbacks,
they're always playing into that, though, aren't they? The
Yeah.
death of his family, and he still like sees them and hears their voices. I mean, me and Dave were talking about it and said it does give real like Netflix Punisher season 1 vibes. Because he's basically like left, he's trying to have a bit of a quiet time, keep his head down, and then he just gets sucked right back into it. And he can't help himself either. So, like, it's not like the teaser trailer was mind blowing, but I am super stoked for it. You guys know how much of a Punisher fan I am. The only thing that looked out of place is that it was almost like a very accurate comic book Punisher look at the end of the trailer. With the all black, the gloves, I mean, it looked like blacker outfits than he normally wears for some reason, but like very clean black, with the gloves and the very, very white Punisher logo. So yeah, they seem to be trying to give him a more like comic accurate look as well. And I suspect that's not going to happen till the end because that's going to set up maybe how he looks in Spider-Man. But at the same time, when we saw him in Spider-Man, he didn't look like that. So it's maybe they're just doing it for a bit of fun, and he's just not going to be ending up wearing that all the time. But I'm stoked for it, so I'm super excited.
Well, one of you told me that it's supposed to potentially be loosely based off the Welcome Back Frank arc.
No, you
and
told me that.
I feel like one of you sent me that, and I told you that, or maybe.
Someone
maybe
must
I
have
did.
sent it to
Okay,
you,
maybe
and then
I
you
saw
told
that.
us, to be fair, so
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm sometimes I got some things clicking in my head. But Welcome Back, Frank. Solid comic arc. One of the coolest Punisher comic arcs. It's like him going unhinged on a straight up human trafficking gang, and you're gonna see a human traffickers burnt alive and shit. It's he really takes it to him, and of course that's just as pretty scummy as you could possibly get on the planet. If you're like hurting kids, like hurting dogs, helpless, that's just, you want to see people like the Punisher just put them through so much pain, and we get a lot of that really cool Punisher arc. So maybe he just gets out of this jail or whatever, and I hope it is kind of isolated to him taking out a group of really terrible people.
Well, he's going to be going after the Nucci crime family. So
Okay.
that they're the main like antagonists of his little special. So that's who he's going after in this series. And I don't know much. They're like in the comics a little bit. I don't know very much about them, only a little bit. But I know that like the head woman, who's like the head of the Nucci crime family, is weird as hell. So they'll be interested to see if they just make her like a crime boss in general, or if they actually lean into any of her comic book like origin.
Yeah, I don't remember the name, so maybe that is matching the name from Welcome Back, Frank. But it is a lady, the head of that crime family. So yeah, that seems to make sense. Wait, before we move on though, Dave, we've talked about it a lot, Love and Andy. Why do you think Punisher is happening right after Daredevil, and then why do you think Punisher goes into Spider-Man from there? How's it all going to match up?
That's the interesting aspect of this, because obviously that's a line in this season so far. Karen and Matt are talking about like, where is he? Where is Frank? Like, he's really just sitting back while all this is happening. I can't imagine he's not out there doing something. He can't just be letting this fly. So that was obviously a tease to his special presentation and to take us to where he is. I want to think it's just outside of riding the hype that Frank and the Punisher have right now on Daredevil Born Again's success. I would like to think there's a bigger picture to why this timing is laying out in this way. So it is. It's the special presentation is confirmed to take place chronologically before Brand New Day. Is that the case? Or do we know yet?
So it's pretty much supposed to cover what he was doing since he escaped Fisk's prison at the end of season 1, and show roughly why he ends up where he is in Spider-Man.
Got it. Okay. I kind of, I don't know. I would love it to be more consequential and intentional, but I kind of just feel like we're just getting a Frank project, and he's going to have a fun little side quest to do with the Nietzsche family before dropping him into the Spider-Man world. I'm not expecting any universal consequences as far as the plot goes with Frank's special presentation. I think it's just a good reason to make a dope project with him real quick while the hype's hot.
Yeah, I prefer it almost to be a standalone. Just tell your own story, start it, finish it. You don't have to like go watch Spider-Man to see what happens next. Like, just finish off.
Yeah, because even with Hulk, it's like he doesn't really fit in the Spider-Man universe, where he's just so violent. But he's been in a lot of Spider-Man comics, so is Hulk. But it does feel a little weird. But yeah, it's not going to play a huge role. But it's also great marketing for them. People are going to watch the Punisher because they're excited about Daredevil. People are going to get excited about the Punisher and then go see Spider-Man. And maybe if they weren't going to see it anyway, who knows? It's a really nice linear progression of characters into Spider-Man, then into Doomsday, baby. Marvel is back.
We do have a pretty cool story about John Bernthal as well. He quit the Punisher once. And it was during Daredevil Born Again. He walked off the set because he didn't like how the character was being used. And he basically said he'd come back if they brought the Punisher showrunner in. He came back, and then he pitched them the standalone presentation while he was there. And he co-wrote the screenplay, and he's like executive producer on his special presentation too. So hell yeah, John Bernthal, for coming back and setting things straight. Because I'm sure if he was pissed about his character, someone who's played him for years before, it's like, no, this is not what the Punisher does. We don't want to put Daredevil and She-Hulk style,
Well, and to appease him, they brought back the writer from the Netflix Punisher show, which went really well. So they brought him back. They got him teamed up with it. And I guess, another aspect was John Bernthal being very adamant that it is the same style of Frank Castle, whether it's Daredevil, whether it's Spider-Man, whether it's the special presentation. It needs to be written the same exact way, the same character, the same grittiness to it. We just lucked out with John Bernthal getting cast as Punisher, man. He's killing it for the fans.
Well, to continue our big news of the week, CinemaCon starts tomorrow. Expects in our next week in Geek, we'll have some maybe trailers or talk about interviews. Spider-Man, Spider-Verse, Avengers Doomsday, Dune 3, Godzilla versus Kong, or X-Kong 2.5, whatever it is now. Supergirl, Clayface, and Superman, Man of Tomorrow. So it's going to be
Let me tell you something.
A lot of news coming in.
Shout out DC Cannon. What's up, bro? Punisher is going to be peak. I agree. CinemaCon will be too. Let's go.
It's going to be fun. Hopefully we get I heard they said for Avengers Doomsday, they're going to bring out the big guns. You might see a little Robert Downey Jr. or something. Who knows, But stay tuned. Want to get Dave heated real fast?
Let's go. This is the best.
Leo Woodall will reportedly play Aragorn in The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. Viggo Mortensen is no more. Dave, how do you feel about this, man?
What was his name again?
Leo Woodall.
Woodall. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to say here? I look at this guy, I see the picture of him. In no world do I see a Dunedain Ranger looking back at me. I don't see the heir of Isildur. I don't see the King of Gondor. I don't see the single most perfect man in Middle Earth staring back at me. I don't see it. I don't like it. It doesn't make me happy. It makes me sad seeing this character being brought on by Vigo. Maybe the costume design, maybe everything, they make him look well. Maybe it's done well. I'm 100% out on it, man. It makes me sad seeing him recast. I'm trying not to be offensive because I don't know the Leo Woodall guy, so I'm really trying not to say he looks like a little bitch and could not hold Aragorn's jock or Vigo's jock as Aragorn. I don't want to say anything like that. So I just think it's going to be a shit show.
Love that positivity right there. Doesn't even want to give the guy a chance. He's not even fit enough to hold a pair of sweaty balls. So let's just fuck him off right now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Doesn't even want to give him a chance. He's like, doesn't care that Viggo Mortensen's like 70 and is well too old to be playing like a young Aragorn or anything like this at all. Dave doesn't care about any of this shit. Dave's the kind of guy that would cast Harrison Ford as a young Han Solo now if he had the choice. That's the kind of character we're dealing with Dave.
If you can't bring Vigo, don't do it.
About Vigo. So
if you can't do it right, don't do it. I'm a big proponent of doing it the right way. You know, I was raised that way by my parents. You do it. You're gonna do something. You do it the right way, and this ain't the right way. This is blasphemous.
When Ian McKellen dies, Dave's going to be there to prop him up with a stick and make sure he's riding down on his cart.
I mean, if they have Gandalf in a movie, yeah, absolutely, I will take on that role. If they're going to throw somebody out there,
Dave's going to wear his skin.
Oh,
Jesus.
Let's go.
Okay, we got a little dark there. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because everyone else is coming back, though, right? We have Ian McKellen. We have Frodo. What's his name again?
Elijah Wood. He
Elijah
doesn't
Wood.
age,
Elijah Wood.
so that's fine.
Yeah, right. But
Just
What
whilst
about,
we're here and we're getting Dave to rant, let's ask him about what he thinks about the sequel to Lord of the Rings that's been announced. Because I know he did a video on this, but I want to get it on the podcast what he thinks about this as well. Because this is going to be brilliant.
God, yeah. I mean, if I did because I went on a rant and then you critiqued my sarcasm and said it wasn't up to the standards of the UK sarcasm. So I did rant on this show about this garbage.
No, I think Dave got that one out.
That he is not. Why? Yeah, why? Well, let's take 3 chapters from the Fellowship and throw a late night taco show writing it, and we'll make Sam Gamgee's daughter the main character. $1 billion.
Make it John Oliver, and I'm sold.
oh yeah, some of the people in the comments on that video were going against Dave's point of view, saying give Stephen Colbert a chance.
No, I mean, yeah. He wrote the Dana Carvey show, 2 episodes. He does have industry experience, so I'll accept that.
The Dana Carvey show is like the perfect thing you could have said. Okay.
By the way, who's supposed to write The Hunt for Gollum and direct? Isn't it Peter
Andy
Jackson?
Serkis?
Andy Serkis is directing. I think he's writing too.
Yeah, which is totally fine.
Oh, good hands.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
So JD, I think you're the only one here that's played Elden Ring, and the movie
like
starts
17 times.
I'm still
the
playing
movie
it.
with Alex Garland is the director who did like Civil War, a bunch of other good stuff. Starts filming next week. So do you think Elden Ring is a good game to be adapted into a movie, or is it big budget? Probably, right? I mean,
on my 5th time through paying more attention to the story, it has really expansive lore full of gods and betrayals, and it could be very cinematic and a very, to be honest, a Mordor style journey. Like, I mean, not just because it's about a ring. It's actually, by the way, not a physical ring that goes on your finger. It's like a series of what do they call them? Series of something that forms the Elden Ring. And that's probably not too accurate anyway. It's something like that, but could be very cinematic, could be very action and adventure, which is something that I think the Lord of the Rings perfected, and I haven't seen it done better than that mixture of action and adventure.
think they go trilogy?
You don't have to. You don't have to do a trilogy, I don't think. But I've also, maybe if you include some of the Dark Souls lore that I don't know much about, maybe you could. But I think it's fine as a movie. but could be pretty damn epic, to be honest. Depending on how they do it, I'd be excited for it.
Avatar style budget for that with all the giant monsters and stuff, right?
Well, Alex
Yeah.
Garland running it's great. I mean, you mentioned Civil War, but I mean, he did Annihilation, Ex Machina. He wrote 28 Days Later. He's written a lot of pretty solid stuff, and he wrote a ton of Devil May Cry video game stories too. So he's been in the video game world as well. So it seems like the right guy to kind of take it on.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat 2. Anyone watch the new teaser? It has a final runtime of 1 hour and 56 minutes, the longest Mortal Kombat film yet. We got Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. How are you feeling about that role reversal from Butcher to Johnny Cage? Andy, you a Mortal Kombat guy? Did you like the first one? You going to see this at all? Wait till it's on streaming, maybe?
Yeah. I'm not going to the cinema to watch this one because I'm not beefing up anyone's box office.
No one drafted it.
Did they not? Oh, I couldn't remember. I wasn't sure if anyone did or not.
Now I'll go.
Well, that's fine. I'll go to the cinema. It's fine then. But no, I mean, it's one of those ones that like I'm not going to go out my way to watch, but I think it could be fun to watch. So it's going to be. I mean, Carl Urban's gonna sell a lot of it. I think they've actually done really good with some of the casting and what we've seen of how some of the characters look in this one. Because I grew up playing Mortal Kombat video games in the 90s, so it's going to be exciting to see a few more of that brought to life and it done in a really fun but hopefully cool way.
Yeah. Anyone else, Dave? You excited for Mortal Kombat 2? You liked the first one.
Yeah, the first one was fun. I'm not like drooling over it or anything, but I'm definitely going to watch it when it comes out. Not in theaters. I'm not going to be able to make it to theaters. And if I do in May, it's going to be Project Hail Mary. It ain't going to be Mortal Kombat. Assuming that's still out. But yeah, I'll watch it when it comes to HBO Max in a couple of months.
Yeah. Great.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I think, we got the tournament coming. It'll be fun.
JD, did you watch the first one?
I didn't watch it, but I was a fan of the games, like the Xbox 360 era. I'm not going to go see it in cinema. I don't really care to see a Mortal Kombat movie unless I heard after the fact it was some amazing piece of cinema. But yeah, it's whatever, man. I'll play the next game if it comes out.
Okay. I might go see it in theaters. A little $5 Tuesday action. Come on. I ain't got no kids.
I don't love Carl Urban as...
It's a little weird.
Name
Johnny Cage.
Yeah, I don't love it. They did the scorpion thing though. Get over here. I was like, yeah. They actually put that in the trailer.
That's from the game.
Said the thing.
We do have some casting news for a show we all. Okay, what's this here? Where's Spider-Man? I am worried about Invincible. The next 2 episodes. The Boys feels back. I love Jensen Ackles. The man needs more work. He's the only guy who could be a Homelander type.
True.
A lot going on there.
The Boys does feel back, dude. Episode 1 of this season, I think, was like one of the best episodes of The Boys I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys felt like
a lot going on right now, though.
Back to basics. It's just really good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Actually, I was telling Andy in the last Boys episode that Jensen Ackles has the voice of Batman down already. He's got that Soldier Boy voice. It reminds me of Batman all the time.
True. He voiced Batman on multiple projects. Batman or Justice League War, I'm pretty sure he voices Batman. He voices him in a few animated movies already. So yeah, he does have it down.
Okay, then there it is.
And another one from Bloody Knuckles. What do you think's up with Noir? Why isn't he talking?
Scared?
Probably cut his tongue out because he was talking too much when he wasn't supposed to. He filled in for a guy who couldn't talk anymore, and he kept talking. So Homelander probably ripped his tongue out to stop him from talking anymore. I haven't seen the episodes yet, so I don't know if there's more to it this season yet, but that would be my guess.
Fair enough.
Yeah, interesting. So back to the casting news for a show we all thoroughly enjoyed, even Andy before he was on the show, Alien Earth.
Oh, damn.
But actually, Tyrion Lannister, Peter Dinklage, has been cast for the show. So that'd be pretty cool to see. I'm sure I'd like to see him maybe be a villain. Maybe a new villain stepping up. That'd be cool. You guys think? Excited for this?
What show? Sorry.
Alien Earth.
Hey, attention, Dave. Fuck's sake.
It's making a joke.
Sounds...
missed it.
So, I wonder what he's going to do, but I'm down. I love Peter Dinklage. In the Alien universe, he could do anything.
Yeah, he's not coming
I'm
face to face
super
with an
smart
actual
nerd.
alien, though, is he? Because you can't outrun one of those fuckers.
The alien will be like, I'm good. I'll eat the next
He's gonna
one.
be a
He can't
face
do
hugger. He's gonna be a practical face hugger. That's what he's gonna do. Oh god, he's probably gonna be one of the guys running one of the other rich corporations. I bet I could totally see him as some corrupt rich, of one of the 4 other major corporations they've mentioned in season 1.
I don't know exactly when that show's coming out, but I'm imagining probably next year, maybe end of this year. But
Yeah.
Andy, you liked Alien Earth, correct?
Yeah.
All right, we got some Marvel news. This is for Andy mostly. This one. Kristen Ritter, Mike Coulter, and Finn Jones on the set of Daredevil Born Again Season 3. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fish are officially back.
Iron Fish.
Interesting.
The Defenders.
His fist doesn't glow anymore. It just turns into scales and he slaps people with it.
He just throws iron fish at people.
Oh gosh. But Andy, you excited for the Defenders?
I am. Suck it, Dave. They're back, whether you like it or not. Dave's favourite, Luke Cage over here, is rumoured to be running for mayor in season 3 as well.
Really?
Yeah. I hope technically that part isn't true because I don't want him to be mayor. I wanted to have the Defenders back together because yes, I am a fan of the Defenders show. Makes sense as well with the Hand reappearing in New York in Spider-Man. Whether they make an appearance at the end of Daredevil season 2 first as well. Could be the prelude to them being in Spider-Man and then getting the Defenders back together since they fought them before. Makes sense to me. I can't wait. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
But by the way, what's up with Elektra? Is she supposed to be coming back with all the others, you think?
Never 100% confirmed to be dead,
No.
according to the Defenders showrunner, because they just said you never see a body, you never see anything confirmed. All we know is that a building dropped on her. And if Daredevil can somehow escape or be flushed out down the tubes to the waterfront, then why can't Elektra survive? That's what he said. So never 100% confirmed that she's actually gone.
Well, and she's been
'Cause my
resurrected
thought-
in the show already, anyways.
Well,
so
yeah.
she could just be resurrected again.
She freaking gets resurrected all the time.
Mm.
But because I'm thinking, why is the Hand in Spider-Man? What if Elektra's revives and brings back the Hand? I think she's might have been a leader of the Hand at least for a little bit, in order to, because I'm starting to think that they're all going to end up in prison by the end of this season. We talked about that because of the Devil in Cell Block D reference that Charlie Clocks made. So. And I could see Kingpin in jail with them too. We saw he's not mayor in Spider-Man, and in the Devil in Cell Block D, Kingpin is in the jail with them as well. And could you imagine if Elektra came and brought the Hand and not really put Kingpin in jail, but maybe broke the other heroes out of jail, and she kind of helps them like they lost her in jail. But Elektra comes and saves the day in some way. But now her and the Hand's presence is in town for Spider-Man. I don't know. That's just bringing Elektra in. Why is the Hand coming in? But because my point for this is because of the Defenders. Why are the Defenders grouping up after they defeat Kingpin or after Kingpin is, released of his mayorship? So it's got to be Hand related. So I'm trying to think of why
That would make sense.
That would be cool.
That's what brought them together in the Defender show. It was the Hand, so it would make sense if the Hand returns after Kingpin's gone, and then all of a sudden, Kristen Ritter's already going to be back this season. So I don't know. I think there's a fair amount of easy ways to write them in, to be honest. They didn't die. They're in the city. Daredevil is becoming a huge thing here. I feel like it's pretty easy to do at this point. And I will say, although, I am definitely negative on Mike Coulter and Luke Cage in Netflix, I think it's pretty cool, the news about the Defenders. Not only was I happy for Andy just hearing it, but I think it's cool because it makes sense. I enjoyed, some of the Defender series there. I think it would be cool to have Iron Fist done in a better way than he was in Netflix. I think it's an interesting character, so I think they could kind of save that too. Out of all of them, really, I just don't care about Luke Cage just because of his goofiness. But I think a possibility of the Iron Fist being kind of reborn in the MCU as a cooler character, I think that's intriguing. I think that'd be fun. So I think it's fun news, and the Hand definitely makes sense for it being the reason.
Yeah. They're really busting out these seasons too.
I hope Luke Cage is cornier than ever in season 3.
I'm sure he will have that metal headband and come walking out. I'm trying to think of super corny lines, but all the ones that come to head are also stereotypical. So I'm trying to stay away from that. all the Luke Cage 80s just super stereotypical black lingo that they had him drop for every one of his punchlines. Some of them made their way into the Netflix show with him, but he just has a really corny way of delivering things.
Yeah, that'll be exciting though. See how things plan out after Doom, because it'll be after Doomsday, obviously, when it comes out. So
Yeah,
it's a weird timeline with Daredevil, isn't it? Because it's not exactly like fitting or it's not in between everything. It's in its own sort of timeline. We're all assuming all of these series are going to be before Doomsday, because then obviously Doomsday will affect the outcome of everything. So even the season 3 is going to be between Doomsday and Secret Wars. We still have to assume in the timeline it happens before Doomsday.
right. We have some reshoots going on for Brand New Day, but Tom Holland says, don't worry. We're just adding a little bit more humor, layering in villain plot lines in a new way, some really fun stuff. I can say, the things we're doing, we don't need. The movie works as it is, and we're just putting some icing on the cake. So, don't need to worry about our last second reshoots about 3 months before the movie comes out. Nothing to worry about. And also, Zendaya says she was filming Dune 3 and Spider-Man at the same time. She would jump back and forth between characters. So good scheduling for her. Very busy for the couple.
No doubt. She's
Look out,
good
Tom.
as an actress.
Just saying. She's hanging out with Robert Pattinson. She's hanging out with Timothy Chalamet. Robert Pattinson in 2 different movies.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out there, Tom.
I actually saw the drama in theater. It was pretty crazy. The
Yeah?
A24 movie with them. Yeah. I would recommend
Crazy is not
watching
the
it.
word I would have expected as the descriptive. But fair enough.
Well, basically, I'll give a
A24.
quick. It's because it's kind of a the spoiler. There's like a twist in the movie.
I know nothing about it other than Robert Pattinson and Zendaya are in it.
Well, basically, they're about to get married in like 2-3 weeks. They go on a tasting with their maid of honor and best man, and they start talking. They get to the discussion of what's the worst thing you've ever done, and they all say some kind of benign shit. And then Zendaya goes last, and she says some fucking crazy shit. And then it's like the rest of the movie's like, what would you do if your fiance said that right before you got married? And I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah, I got double teamed by these 2 tennis players one time. That's pretty wild.
But no, good movie. Yeah. It'll probably be on HBO Max in about 3 weeks, so check it out. And it's not super gory or crazy like other A24 movies. It's a little more settled down. Director Jake Schreier, is that the correct name? Schreier? Sounds right. Confirms the X-Men script is being rewritten. Beef writers Lee Sung-jin and Joanna Callow are working on a new draft. It is releasing in 2028. And it seems like they're going with the OG lineup. That's the rumor, of course. Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, Beast, Angel. So what do you think about the rewrite and kind of Professor X, Wolverine, Magneto, just have the 5 OG characters, I guess. JD?
Well, Professor X should be an OG, shouldn't he?
You think?
I think he had to have started there. I don't know.
He has to.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know what this means. You gotta hope that it just means good things, because Marvel's been pumping out good stuff lately. I think Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, and Daredevil's doing well. I think Spider-Man's going to do well. So I think they're just getting kind of a hang of things now and figuring out where they're going, because they've finally got their feet under their, however the saying goes. Good God, but it's got to just mean good stuff. And in 2028, 2 years until we have an actual MCU X-Men movie. So that's really cool to have an actual timeline on it. And that's going to put it, right after Secret Wars. So Secret Wars in 2027 and then X-Men in 2028. Marvel's just going to keep cooking, it looks like. I really hope it's good.
Yeah. Fresh reset. Andy, you big X-Men guy, Fox Universe Comics. You excited for them?
Yeah, I mean, we've been waiting for this for a long time, obviously, because when the MCU started, and obviously Fox had the rights, so that they had to make all of their plays without the X-Men there, and now that they've got them, and we're hoping that they improve upon what Fox did, because obviously whilst they had a couple of good films, the majority of their films weren't particularly great, to be fair.
50-50.
Yeah, I mean some of the the recasts as well that they did with the First Class and stuff. Some of those movies were good, but the latter ones were like terrible. So it's just it was the same with Fantastic Four. And you want Marvel to have the genuine shot at doing it because they're the ones. It's their characters. They're the ones that seem to get the casting right. They get for the most part the writing right. So you want them to do a good job, and so we're all excited for it. I mean, there's been rumors going on that there could be some casting news as early as like the next Comic-Con. I think that's going to be way too early. I'd be surprised if we got any casting news before Secret Wars, to be honest, because Secret Wars is rebooting the universe, well, even if it's a soft reboot. So I'd be surprised to get any casting news confirming characters and who's playing them before that, because you want to see who potentially makes it through Doomsday to Secret Wars, if they bring in alternate versions of these characters into Secret Wars for like a Battle World type scenario, and then who survives and makes it out of that. So I'd be surprised, yeah. But I am excited for this moving forward. I like JD. I can't wait for it, to be honest. It's going to be exciting. I know that there's also been heavy rumors that they're not going to go straight into like Avengers versus X-Men. Like they want to wrap up like the Eternal Celestials, like Judgment Day storyline first, and then make that the next big Avengers movie. Then after that, we'll probably get Avengers versus X-Men, which would be top notch. I think we're probably still looking like mid 2030s to like late 2030s for that, but still, I think it's going to be cool.
Well, Dave, would you prefer established X-Men in the Doomsday and Secret Wars movies and then move on to fresh characters, or do you want to see maybe a couple sprinkled in before then?
I wouldn't mind seeing at least a couple of the ones we're going to be moving forward with. I think we may. I agree with Andy for the most part. I think we may get one or two. Sorry, the comment. I think we may get one or two cast reveals regarding the future of the X-Men. I don't expect. I'm totally agree. I don't think we're going to get major in the majority of the casting announcements. I think maybe there's one or two that spills out like. Yeah, something like that, where they reveal one early for a specific reason, and maybe that character's in Secret Wars and is the connective tissue that moves forward with these X-Men characters. But I think we're going to get a mix. I think Secret Wars will still have some old X-Men, but I think we'll have a couple of introductions to characters we maybe move forward with.
Oh, yeah. Anyone have anything to add before we move on to our X-Men conversation?
Well, I'd say that I feel like it is our fifth and final send-off to the Fox X-Men, and we will get all new after Secret Wars. I don't think there'll be carryover. But then again, if Jean Grey is supposed to be in Spider-Man, maybe that's completely wrong.
Yeah. Avengers Doomsday, this actually came out today, had a test screening recently, and it tested on the same level as Infinity War. Take it with a grain of salt. Only like Marvel execs and people who worked on the movie were allowed to watch it, and they're like, "Oh, we like this."
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Sorry, like if that's the only people commenting on it, or people who worked on the movie, then I don't really care much.
But
this movie kind of sucks. We dropped the ball, I gotta say.
It's like trusting all the people that told us that the Flash movie was really good.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise was at the Doomsday screening as well. He said it's the greatest movie he's ever seen since Flash.
The greatest superhero.
All right, moving on to DC. Andy Serkis says the Batman 2 story really does speak to Matt Reeves as a human being and how he feels about life. It'll be a very emotional film. They begin work on the film in a week. This is what Robert Pattinson had to say. He said some really basic ass shit, but I'll just run through it real fast. The script is extraordinary, so good. He said it's going to be a really, really, really special movie. Very, very different from the Batman. Wow, he was surprised how different it is. He went, "Oh, wow, okay. It's going to take some big swings, and it's going to be interesting." I don't know if an AI write him a response through text and send it to this guy, but there it is. So the Batman 2, 6 years later, we'll see when it comes out, but whatever.
I'm not thrilled to hear that it's about what Matt Reeves feels about life, if that's a big theme in this movie, because the way that he did War for the Planet of the Apes really was just so in the opposite direction of where I wanted that movie to go after a really solid Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And I don't want to see a Batman sequel that feels like War for the Planet of the Apes. So
he directed that movie?
Yeah.
He did all the He did the first 3 Apes movies. I
No,
think.
no, not the first one though. It was only Dawn and War, not Rise.
Oh, you're right. You're right. He didn't do the first. I was gonna say I'm pretty positive he did Dawn though. So okay, he did 2 of them.
Yeah,
Those are good movies.
yeah. The first 2 are good.
Third's all
Yeah,
right.
War is a little rough.
Ugh. It's just like you titled it War.
Andy, you like Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, it's all right. It's funny because I don't like the original ones. I think they're awful films. But I don't mind the reboot. Like the reboot at all. I thought it was decent enough. So
Caesar, Andy Serkis.
That's honestly how I felt about the older X-Men. Like I don't really love those movies, and the Fox X-Men I loved. Rewatching like X2 is really cool, but man, I really can't. Because I like the characters, I can get through them and it's fun. But like I think the Fox X-Men elevated it so much. Same Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I think is so damn good. Dawn is so damn good, but all the previous stuff is kind of bad.
Yeah.
That still was Fox X-Men, by the way. It was just
I know.
original
My
ones were
bad.
Fox X-Men.
Right.
I was just gonna let us slide.
I'm a dick. I think we all understood what you were saying.
All right, we got some James Gunn beef to talk about.
yeah,
Superman Man of Tomorrow begins filming this month. James Gunn debunked Deadline's report on Maxima's role, and he said he thought Deadline was pretty thorough in their journalism. Frankly, disappointed. So are we on this podcast. We use Deadline a lot here. We don't go to our My Time to Shine hellos very often. If someone had run these names by us, we would have said it's bullshit. But there is one role left to cast. And then a new report came out the next day from The Hollywood Reporter, not Deadline, saying these 4 actresses are testing for the role. Adria Arjona from Andor, Sydney Chandler, Grace Van Patten, Eva de Dominci. Don't know the other 3, but a lot of people want Adria to be Wonder Woman. I think she would be a really cool Wonder Woman as well. Let's save her for that role. We can get someone else in as Maxima, but anyone familiar with Maxima from the comics and her connection to Superman?
Nope.
Okay.
Sounds like
But we're so excited. So
supervillain.
excited.
yeah.
Yeah.
Overwhelmed with excitement about this one.
I'm looking it up and I'm less
She's
excited.
a powerful alien queen from the planet Almerac, known in DC Comics as a recurring antagonist and love interest for Superman. She seeks him as a mate, but she later reforms to becoming a heroine and a member of the Justice League.
Heroin.
Heroine.
Jesus, love. I guess that's where not reading books comes into play.
Heroin?
Leave the guy alone. You saw him struggle with the names, and then you're picking on that as well.
All right.
That is funny though. The description I read too. It's easy to imagine at least part of the movie being about Superman fending her off as she hunts for a suitable mate. So apparently that's a big part of her backstory. Is like,
Fuck me, please. Over here.
Oh my gosh. But yeah,
some
We'll see.
firecracker shit from the boys.
hopefully Supergirl's good because, you know, if we're going back to back super movies, you know, we're going to need to pick up steam. And I don't know, I guess him and Lex Luthor working together or whatever they're going to be doing could be cool.
I mean, it better be good. It's in my fucking box office draft. So
Supergirl is going to be good, dude. I'm confident. I think it'll be better than Superman. I think it just looks more fun. She's edgier, you know. The story's really cool. It's actually based off a pre-written story.
I mean,
I hope it
Galaxy's
makes
always done
800
box
million.
office.
I wish I could say I think it'll cap out like higher, but I think it's like a 500 mil, right?
Yeah.
6 if it's lucky, but it'd be so cool if it was an amazing film and everyone went and saw it and it made 800K. Let's go, DC. Keep cooking.
800K.
800K.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah, I mean, obviously for my box office, I need it to do well, and you know, Guardians of the Galaxy films have always done well in the box office, so Supergirl should be no different in that respect.
Right?
So, but in terms of it would be I'd be surprised if it made more than Superman did, but I think it has the
You're right,
potential,
'cause-
definitely straight from the trailers, to be a better film than Superman.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. Everyone go watch it lots, please.
Yes. All right, we have a quick box office update now that Dave's back. Dave, you're back. You ready for a box office update? We can just hand you the crown
let's
now
hear it.
if you'd like. Mario
Slow down.
and Project Hail Mary are both over 500 million. So, yeah, pretty good start. It's saying Project Hail Mary is going to project to end around 700 million, and that's Dave's like 4th round pick. And then, of course, Super Mario will be like $1.8 billion or whatever. It's only been out for a week.
Call it 2.
Yeah.
Just making up for the fact that you picked the Social Reckoning, so he's balancing out.
Yeah. That's good. Oh, actually, Godzilla Minus Zero is supposed to be featured at CinemaCon as well. So it looks like they are pushing forward with that.
And it's got worldwide
I was gonna
IMAX
ask.
releases as well. So I think that could be my stellar 5th round pick.
Yeah. But Mando and Grogu is projected to have the worst opening weekend for a Star Wars movie, around 75 to 80 million domestically.
No way.
I was
Which
gonna
is-
say the issue with this though is that is just domestic for the US because it's the conversation I had with you guys I think earlier this week or something like that was the fact that or last week, like with the Dune 3 tickets going on sale already and it's not out till December, whereas over here tickets don't go out on sale until a month before it comes out. So you can say domestically that's poor, but worldwide it's going to zip up like really quickly.
Well,
and it
to
can
be
easily
fair-
be like a 300 opening weekend.
The Dune thing, I've never seen this happen. Like, this has never been a US
weird.
thing either. I've never once seen a movie have tickets go out 8 months beforehand and sell out. I've never once seen that
In a
happen.
minute.
I don't know what
It's
the
'cause
hell
Doomsday.
that was.
It's 'cause they're
We
going
saw
up
that
against
with the
Doomsday,
Odyssey
so-
recently, I thought.
Yeah, the
I feel
Odyssey
like that
sold
did
out.
happen with the
Yeah.
Odyssey too.
Well, that's another thing this year. I've never seen I've just never seen movies drop 8 months up beforehand for ticket purchases before.
Right.
I've never heard of
Yeah.
that. I don't.
I
I saw
Timothy needs a front on his salary.
that it's been the best quarter for movie theaters and since like 2000 and,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know, 19 or something like that.
With Mario and Project Hail Mary.
There's
And even we made a mistake possibly. Hoppers, that Pixar film. No one drafted it. It's over 350 million.
I mentioned it may get
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked about Elio being a thing scaring me off of it, but it was projected for like 500 million, but I just didn't trust it after Elio. But and there you go. There goes Hopper already doubled up Elio, so it's fantastic.
It could have been a solid 5th round pick for one of us, but we were scared off of our recent Pixar movies unless it's a sequel like Toy Story 5, Andy's first pick, right?
Yeah, because I was left with none of the other big ones after you guys stole them all.
But I'm worried about Mando and Grogu. There was another TV spot they dropped recently, and it was still the same shit with the hut, the same scenes. It's like, I don't know. I hope there's something more to this movie than just a season 4, on the big screen. But it only comes out in a month too, and I feel like there hasn't been a lot of like marketing and campaigning. They're kind of just like, okay, let's just slip this last Kathleen Kennedy movie under the rug, get out of here, and move on with Dave Filoni at the head, because.
But it's Dave Filoni at the head. He ain't gonna sweep this under the rug. He wants this to blow up now that he's in charge too. This is his baby, right?
True. And it's him and it's Favreau. I'm sure he's like executive producer though.
Yeah,
It'll be fine. They're projecting this stuff 6 weeks away from it even coming out. So saying that it's projected to be 72 to 80 million now, it's like that's going to increase domestically even over the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then worldwide release, I said worldwide opening weekend, I still think you're looking at 300 odd million. Like
Yeah,
easy.
But if the movie sucks, no one's gonna go watch it twice.
That's
The
not
second
true.
and third weekend.
There's enough Star Wars nerds out there that will definitely go watch it twice. There are people that even if they're on the fence will still go watch it because it's going to be talked about whether it's good or bad, and people will want to go see that. And it's the first Star Wars film in 7 years, so again, regardless, people are going to go want to watch it because they're excited that Star Wars is back on the big screen, irregardless of what. And then kids are going to get sucked into it because it's Grogu, and so the parents are going to have to take him to go and watch it as well. So it's more money in the bank.
I like that.
So,
I like that.
all this stuff to me is bullshit. Like about it being a low projected opening and it possibly not doing well because it's just a bigger Mando episode. Like there's a lot for both sides at stake here, for the fans and for obviously Lucasfilm. So I don't think this is gonna, like, even if the film isn't that good, I don't think financially it's gonna bottom out at all.
Okay.
I don't think
I
it'll
like it.
bomb, but I don't think it's making $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's going to make money. It's not going to be a financial loss by any means. I mean, that's
What was it we
just
said
not
about?
gonna
We
happen.
projected about what, 800 million for this, I think. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
get
But I'm
yourself a
excited. Is it everyone
get a
going?
Mando popcorn bucket,
Yes. All right. You gotta get the
or
bucket.
I just take my Mando helmet and put popcorn in it. It's fine.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
I think Dave's the only one in question here. I know JD will go. Dave, you gonna go to
Yeah,
to
it's up in
theaters
the
to
air.
see Star Wars?
Depends on the old babysitter stuff. We'll see.
Go solo.
I'll probably see it.
go-
in
I was saying,
theaters.
you've got a wife. You can
Working
spare
late
2 hours.
tonight. Sorry, honey.
She wants to see it more than me, honestly.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't even. She loves Mando
Actually, you
and
know
all
what?
that. So
Yeah, get 2 tickets.
I'm going to rock up to the midnight premiere wearing my Mando helmet and with my dark saber in hand. So.
Nothing else on.
No, nothing else at all.
Just a saber and a helmet.
Just a Coca-Cola cup over my cock. It's fine.
those kids are gonna remember that night. That's for damn sure. I don't know if it's because of the movie, but
Well,
All right. Well, that wraps it up for Week in Geek. Let's do a little Darth Maul Shadow Lord episodes 1 and 2. If you haven't watched those episodes yet and don't want to be spoiled, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Let's kick it over here to Andy to continue our Star Wars talk.
alrighty then. So we've got Maul Shadow Lord. So as Lub said, if you don't want to hear any spoilers, you don't want to hear anything, you can leave the room. So Dave, feel free to wander about as much as you want. But obviously, brand new animated show, takes place a year after the episode of the event. Sorry, of Revenge of the Sith. And Maul is trying to put together and rebuild his criminal syndicate on a planet that so far has been, whilst it is under control of the Empire, it's not really been touched by the Empire at this point in time. So,
It has
built
Coruscant
into
vibes.
Coruscant
Planet.
vibes.
The
Yes,
planet has
absolutely.
Coruscant vibes.
Yeah, absolutely did. Because when it first started, that opening sequence, it looks like it could be Coruscant, but obviously we find out that it's not. But yeah, the whole point of this is that Maul's putting together his criminal syndicate again. He's got a long-term plan where he wants to be able to use the syndicate to take control of the galaxy, whilst also simultaneously finding an apprentice and taking down Darth Sidious. So, opening sequence, we see obviously the Mandalorian Death Watch remnants that follow Maul, attacking a criminal syndicate, stealing all their credits, and then when it just looks like they're going to be cornered, Maul walks out the ship in all his glory, his double-ended lightsaber, Jewel of the Fates playing, and takes them all out. JD, hit me. What did you reckon to the start of this show?
Great start to the show. Love the horror vibes. I think that scene was awesome. Plenty of great Maul action, and I like the kind of drama they set up at the beginning. I like that Detective Lawson coming in, and he's like, "Well, who could have done this? Like, it's probably not one of the regular gangs. It's too clean, or they wouldn't want to start a turf war." So, with the action and the story, I thought within the first couple scenes, I was already like, "All right, good to go."
Yeah, I do
Caleb,
like
how
the
are you
police
feeling?
aspect. That's kind of a new thing. I haven't really got like much of the police in Star Wars. Maybe Andor a little bit, but I was more like the Empire police, like the kind of local
Oh,
sheriff in town kind of deal. But Star Wars, I do like that.
And they mentioned not bringing in ISB to keep the Empire,
Yeah, right.
to keep the
They'll
Empire
shut
out of
the whole
their
planet
bubble.
down.
I mean, Dave, you saw the first half of the first episode, didn't you? So what did you
Mhm.
reckon to the opening scene?
yeah, I liked it. I didn't get to the point where they said it wasn't Coruscant anymore, so I kind of thought it still was Coruscant. But I don't have much to say here, so this will probably be it. But I liked the feel to it right off the bat. I liked the score. The score itself, like that was the first thing as it's panning over the city, and it's almost got that tribal drum pump going on with the score rising, and it's setting the tone. I love the feel to it already, and then it was perfect. You know, they act like they're giving up, and camera pans to the guys behind the guards, and there's Maul stepping off the ship. So even the sequences where it's just Maul talking, it's just Sam Witwer saying some lines as Maul. It's just so satisfying. So I did get to finish the first episode, but the first 10 minutes showed me, this is going to be enjoyable. Regardless of where they go, there's going to be some fun, enjoyable scenes in the show.
Did you guys see the clip of Sam Witwer eating the apples to do the voice?
I mean, that was obviously a bit of a joke. He doesn't seriously keep. Basically, Dave, there was Star Wars Online shared a clip of basically behind the scenes, and Sam Witwer keeps a plate of like green apple slices next to him to nom on like in between scenes, and he's like, "Oh, this helps me do the Maul voice." So he's like, "I'm talking now. I'm Sam Witwer." Puts in a green apple slice, like, "Now I'm Maul."
Yeah, it's so sick though. It's so sick. Oh my god!
all
But
it
we'll talk
takes,
about the voice
green
acting
apple.
for a minute. Yeah, we'll talk about the voice acting before we get into anything else about the episodes, because this cast is stacked with video game people, with Star Wars people that have done lots of stuff before. Obviously, we know Sam Witwer as Maul. Obviously, Wagner Morik being Brandon Lawson, the cop. Richard Ayoade, who's already voiced Zero the droid in The Mandalorian. So he's been there before, and he's obviously famous in the UK, so we know him quite well. Vanessa Marshall, who voices Rook Cast, who's the head of the Death Watch. She voiced Hera in Star Wars Rebels, so we've already come across her before. Steve Blum, who voices Icarus, one of the Zabrek soldiers under Maul's command. Steve Blum voiced Zeb in Star Wars Rebels as well, as well as various other people.
Dave Filoni getting his voice back.
Yeah. Dennis Haysbert voicing Master Ikadio. Obviously, if you don't know Dennis Haysbert, you should do.
The Allstate guy.
Yeah, the president from 24, however you want to know him as. He like lots of things. He was in Brooklyn 99, playing obviously a rogue FBI agent, which was a fun one for him. So lots of really cool voice actors in this, and even like the people that like Gideon Adlon, who's voicing Devon, the young Jedi apprentice. He's done loads of video game stuff. Chris, I'm going to butcher his surname now. Chris Diamantopoulos.
Don't pull on me.
He's done loads of stuff as well. So this voice cast is stacked. And the first episode, because episode 2, Sam Witwer just sinks into maybe the normal Maul voice. But that first episode, he like really heavily leaned on Maul's voice in every scene he did. I was talking on it because this is like the third or fourth time I've covered Maul this week. So I was chatting to other shows about how like how Ian McDiarmid obviously had lots of theatre training. So you can see that in different bits when he's doing Palpatine, that he leans into it. So when he talks to Luke in episode 6, when he did Tragedy of Darth Plagueis, even when he comes up and voices Palpatine for that one episode of The Bad Batch, it's just filled with all of his theatre training. And Sam Witwer felt like he was doing this in episode 1. Just everything was slow and deliberate and elongated and just evil and oozing class at the same time. And it was just, I could have like slept and in that voice that night. It was so good. So yeah, this voice cast is absolutely unreal. And I can't wait to see. And there's more stars to come later in the series as well. We're not even done with the big stars and big video game people coming in. So,
well, the guy who does all the clone voices too.
Clancy
I'm sure he'll
Brown's probably popping up.
Well, Clancy Brown probably won't.
Wow,
his
I can't
character's
think of his
dead.
name now.
We mean Savage?
Which one?
Savage Press.
Oh yeah.
No. He's voiced 11th Brother before. Clancy Brown does a ton of voices in Star Wars. He's actually in Ahsoka. He's the governor or whatever the town that Sabine is in.
Well, yeah, that's from his character in Rebels that he voiced.
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, he's voiced 11th Brother a couple times in the past too. Who's going to be in this? But I didn't know Vanessa Marshall was doing Rook. I had no idea. So that's pretty cool.
Well, she voiced Rook in the Clone Wars anyway, and then obviously
I don't even remember. Was Rook just the main female Mandalorian that was on the Death Watch with Maul? Was that just the main female leader? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. She doesn't have like a ton of screen time or a ton of voice time. And obviously she did do a little bit in obviously the season 5 episodes when Maul takes over Mandalore, and then she went off and did Rebels, and then obviously they brought her back for season 7 of the Clone Wars, and then obviously bringing her back now. Yeah. So, but yeah, this is a stacked cast of voices, and so I'm excited to see what they bring, and it just obviously elevates it because it's an animated show, so it's a little bit different. We're not seeing their faces, and I think we've seen it in the MCU with some of the animated projects they've done when they brought the real life actors in to voice them who aren't used to doing voice acting. They've been a bit flat. And so to have all of these people coming in and doing it, I think it's going to make it sound 10 times better. So,
yeah.
So then the rest of this episode, obviously, we kick up a little bit about Brandon Lawson, the cop. To me, I think maybe they did a bit too much of him during the first two episodes. Maybe didn't need to do as much. But at the same time, if he's going to be the main sort of guy who's hunting down Maul and the Syndicate, you want a bit of backstory to him, don't you? So, Lub, how are you seeing Brandon Lawson's sort of story so far?
I was waiting for him to see if he had a family or not, because he was at work for like a day straight, and then he goes home for, I don't know, 10 minutes, and his son's like, hey, mom said I can come visit, and he's like, no, don't worry about that. So he's divorced, somehow kept the kid, so I don't know what mom's up to, but he's very dedicated to his work. It's kind of weird. It's him and a bunch of droids, though. So it's like he's the only one where I guess it kind of makes it so the rest can be cannon fodder, and we can kind of just follow this guy along. But it would be cool if is there another human, or is it just him and all droids?
I mean, there were some knocking around, but it was obviously a lot of security droids, I guess.
Right.
Because they're kind of easier than, and if people do get shot, it's not a life that you're replacing, it's another robot. So I guess that's kind of more common. But we did see, obviously, that woman that turned up that told him that he had to get everything under control and find, like, Vario, that crime lord that got taken, because she had someone above her that was putting pressure on. So...
Yeah.
It's obvious that he's not just a police chief. He's working for maybe a corporation that does the policing maybe on that planet.
It's about time to call the Empire, though. I'd say, I think things have gotten a little out of hand for this local cop, and he needs to bring in the big guns. I know it'll suck, and the planet will probably be stripped of its resources afterwards, but.
And it seems like Maul has something planned for him. Like he specifically did not kill him. Remember that?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I just
he knocks him in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he kind of notices him on the hollow screens and stuff. So he's gonna play some kind of role.
He needs a good adversary. He's like, I like this guy.
For the story, do you want them to call the Empire? Or do you want them to leave the Empire out?
Well, they're gonna, because I think that's how the Inquisitors show up.
Maybe they just find out on their own and just show up anyways, and they're like extra pissed off at this guy, and
they could do that.
Well, because obviously Lawson doesn't really know who Maul is. Like he's like, he sees the laser sword and goes, "Haven't seen that since the Clone Wars," even though it's only been a year since the Clone Wars ended. It's not like it's been 20 years and it's a new hope all of a sudden, and they're all a mystery. But at the same point, you've got to think that somebody there reports to the Empire. Because whilst the Inquisitors do go out, and there is some literature about they go out searching the planets and stuff like that, when you're looking for someone like Maul, you're probably going to get a tip off, because Maul's going to be careful about not putting himself in the view of the Empire. So it seems likely that they're going to get tipped off somehow. Maybe it's someone else at the police station or whatever, or the people that are putting pressure on Lawson above him are the ones that call on the Empire rather than him. And he kind of gets himself caught in the middle of it. But yeah, it's interesting what you said, JD, about the fact that, because I was touching on that in other conversations as well, about the fact that he doesn't get killed by Maul. Like, Maul's taking out all the other security guards, other security personnel, in 2 different hallway scenes as well, by the way. So, or should we say Maulway scenes, where he's obviously just taking out people left, right, and centre. So Maul's had 3 of his own hallway scenes now, and I had to correct somebody when they said that they thought that maybe Maul's hallway scenes were better than Vader's Rogue One scene. I was just like, no, we're not even gonna like entertain that as an option. And if anything, his hallway scene in the finale of Clone Wars season 7 was far better when he's escaping the Venator than he were in this particular one. But
it's almost sick,
it's still good.
The episode 2 was the better one.
Oh, you think? I thought it was actually the slower one out of the 2, and maybe not as interesting.
It was just
a lot
longer.
of exposition. Yeah. It was. I mean, the first one was 30 minutes. The second one was 23 minutes.
Well, I mean, the hallway scene.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I was just thinking about, in terms of the second episode, was more exposition. It was more setup, because it was slower. Yeah. There was obviously some action, but it was just more slower, setting things up. He's setting things up with Devon Izara, who's obviously captured, who obviously took her from the police station. And he's going after the Pikes as well, which obviously reunites from Clone Wars as well, Crime Syndicate, in the next episode. So, but yeah, in terms of then, we see a little bit of the interactions between Master, Ikadio, and Devon, who are obviously Jedi Master and Apprentice. And she obviously has already got that sort of thing where she's struggling to survive because she wants to steal food. She's, an apprentice. She's not attuned to everything yet, whereas Master Ikadio, is like we will rely on the kindness of strangers. We're not going to put ourselves out there. We're not going to get ourselves noticed unnecessarily. So is this like a classic JD like battle between master and apprentice, or is it just the fact that they just got to set her up so she has some sort of darkness or emotion in her that can be tapped into by Maul to try and turn her to the dark side?
I was confused about Devon's character. Are you saying she's the apprentice of that frog dude, or how she's going to become the apprentice of them all? Okay, so yeah, really confused about that because he was pretty quick to allow herself to just surrender. And it's not like jail is a fast process. You're going to go to jail. You're going to wait for your court date, and you're going to have to get sentenced and all this stuff. It's like why did you just tell her to give herself up? Because they are supposed to be on the good side, right? They're not bad guys. It's not like she's not trying to become a Sith or anything. Oh no, another kid's crying. Sorry. And she also knew Maul. So, do we know anything about that? This is a brand new character, is it not?
I mean, yeah, I think probably Maul's infamous within the Jedi Order at this point, in terms of obviously he was the first Sith that they'd seen in millennia. When he appears in episode in Phantom Menace, and then obviously reappears again in the Clone Wars, and there was a big deal with obviously him taking over Mandalore and Kenobi, and then obviously at the end of the Clone Wars as well. So it's probably the fact that she knows who he is because he's infamous, because he's a Sith, or is whether he counts as a Sith Lord now or not doesn't really matter, but he's going to be infamous. He's going to be known as a Sith among the Jedi Order, because you imagine they're going to know about the Sith because they're going to be told about it. They're going to be taught about it in case should they ever stumble across him. So it doesn't really surprise me that she does know who he is, but it's probably just more through infamy than anything else.
All right, and then what was the significance of her breaking out of that jail? Because that felt like her moment, her scene. It seems like she made a decision now. Like, is she going back to Frogman, or did it almost seem like
she's
Maul was right?
Well, the way I interpret it is the fact that obviously, throughout that episode, Maul was saying to her, you can leave at any time you want, but to do it, you've got to tap into your emotions, which is against what the Jedi do, and so therefore to use the power that your emotions give you to break out of this prison. So therefore, if she uses her emotions in a bad way, she's falling more towards the dark side immediately, and therefore it'll be easier for Maul to tap into her and get her to turn, rather than her staying by her Jedi principles. Which again is what we see when she tries to steal the fruit at the start, and her master's like, no, don't do that, because we've got to sort of keep her head down and sort of live by the Jedi principles. And she's like, no, I'm hungry. I think we should be able to do this because we've got power, and so therefore she tries to do it and goes against him straight away. So yeah, her doing that it felt like it was supposed to be a breakout moment for her, but at the same point, it's her giving into her emotions and using them potentially in a bad way that can make it easier for Maul to manipulate her, I think.
But no way Andy's boy, Dave Filoni, has the balls to turn her Sith and keep her Sith, right? You think she kind of... I can see this playing out where she stays with Maul, she kind of goes with his ways, and then at the end she sees that he's wrong, and she goes back to her master once Maul kills her master or something like that. I can see the story playing out, but it would be cool if she just becomes Maul's apprentice in a way, but also then you'd have to explain why they're not together anymore in Rebels, but also, it's a long 15 years. You could just make a comic book about it later or something.
I mean, the obvious rumor that she's supposed to be a new version of the Legends of versions of Darth Talon, which obviously she was, someone that came about after the original trilogy in Legends. But just because I think the only reason that they're doing that is because Maul potentially wants to have her as an apprentice, and she's of the same species. So that's the only connection that they've got. So that annoys me a little bit, because I'm like, no, if you're going to do Darth Talon, do it properly in a different time period, perhaps.
Right.
And leave it be on that one. So, but yeah, I don't think Filoni's got the balls here to really turn her to a true apprentice and her to stay with him. And then maybe at some point, they do another book or comic book or show or something like that fills the gap of what happened to her. Presumably probably killed at some point by the Inquisitors or by Maul, potentially even Vader. That could be a cool way, because we know we're getting more seasons of this. So it's not just a one and done season. Season 2 was announced before the first episode even came out.
That's right.
Because, Dave Filoni, of course he's going to do that, because he can't leave his
your
fucking
boy.
characters alone. The guy has commitment issues in the fact that he actually stays with his characters rather than leaving them. That's his issue. So it's no surprise that this story is going to roll on a bit longer than season 1. They're talking potentially 3 to 5 seasons of the show. So
just go all the way to Rebels.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, why not? You may as well at this point. You may as well just take it all the way to Solo, because he's obviously still in charge of criminal syndicates then.
Oh yeah.
In Rebels he isn't. So you may as well fucking take it that far, aren't you? Because what's the point of
give
the
it more
That would be kind of cool though. Fill the gap.
It would
Fill
be.
the gap
That would
between, because he lost it all in after Revenge of the Sith, and now he's building it back up to where he is in Solo. You do it.
But we don't need to see that, like, because
It's
he's
just a
obviously
fun
They
little
don't need
animated
to,
show.
just for fun.
It's a
because
little
obviously,
side
whilst
show.
he has made an impact, he's in charge of obviously a criminal syndicate at the time of Solo. He's still not had a big enough impact on the Empire and anything that they're doing, because one, he still shits himself at this, the word of Vader, as we see in Rebels, and obviously, the Empire isn't really that concerned about his criminal syndicate because we've never seen any literature or anything that says that Palpatine cares about them. So obviously, in 15 years, he's not really made much of a dent. So he's just sort of kept himself to himself. His plans don't come to fruition, which kind of spoils us a little bit because, like, the plans he's trying to achieve is galactic dominance and to take down Sidious.
Yeah.
Which he mentions obviously in the first episode. He talks to Rookcast and goes, the plan is, I've been having visions. The plan is, to take over the galaxy with the criminal syndicate and to take down Sidious.
You never know.
Yeah,
they're
but
going
still,
to completely
we
recount
do
all
know.
of Star Wars. Dave Filoni's now in charge. He's like, I'm retconning all of it. Sidious gets defeated in like the next 5 years by Maul. Maul is then CGI'd onto every Palpatine face throughout the entire Star Wars literature everywhere.
It's Maul versus Ahsoka in the original trilogy. That's what they do. Emperor Maul.
Yeah,
That's a problem that's kind of a problem with these shows. You just already know what's going to happen, so it's hard to get that invested because you just know where everything goes.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I had the same argument about Andor. In the fact that you'd already had Andor's endgame. He's at this particular place and what happens to him at the end of that film. So how is filling in his backstory with a couple of 1 or 2 series of his story going to make that much difference? And Andor turned out to be one of the best things that's happened to Star Wars in recent times. So
Good point.
I pulled back my judgment a little bit because these shows can just be enjoyable. Like, it's probably not going to cause more questions than answers, which is something that maybe Bad Batch has done, because everyone's like, what the fuck happened to Bad Batch? Where are they? We see at the end of it, the girl goes off and joins the rebellion. So you're like, where is she now? All these questions about where she is in the original trilogy. Maul's not going to have that issue. Whilst we know his end story, I think this is just fun to fill in the gaps with some good, compelling storytelling and to just add more to the Maul character that's already been enhanced, but by Filoni. So I give Filoni credit there. He did a good job with giving Maul an actual character and an actual personality, which obviously he didn't have in episode 1. At the same time, you're right though, JD. This story isn't going to be massively affecting the Star Wars universe. It's not going to rewrite history inside the Star Wars universe because we know how it already goes.
And you're right. That's a good way to look at it to enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like it.
So, I mean, Lud, where do you see this season going? We already know we're getting the Inquisitors coming in. Obviously, the heavy rumors out a potential Vader cameo towards the end, possibly even an Ahsoka cameo as well. Although that's unlikely now because
all of Filoni's action figures.
Yeah, of course. Why not? He'll throw them all in for the fucking sake of it. I mean, it's unlikely now that we'll see Ahsoka simply because they've done the end of the Clone Wars. I think it was because when they saw them in Rebels and they said, "Oh, the last time I saw you, Ahsoka, you were running away." And so
season 7 now makes it.
Yeah, that's sorted that issue out. So less likely, but she was still a name that got banded around. But yeah, so what are you wanting to see from the rest of the season? Because like I said, we're getting the Inquisitors. Do you want to see Vader? Do you not want to see Vader? Where do you see Maul being by the end of the season?
Well, I want to see Maul have an opposition that actually stands up to him, because in these first 2 episodes, he's just mowing down everybody. That Pike he killed at the end was pretty sick, though, when he force grips him against the wall and then chops him in half on his way down. But yeah, the Inquisitors will be cool. Merrick's supposed to come in soon. I would like to see Vader, and I would like to see what's her name, The girl, Devin.
Devin.
I like to see her be his apprentice for a little bit. I like to see her try that out, see how it goes. And you got the Yoda look-alike on the other side, doing his thing. Secretly powerful, small Jedi. But I'm very interested in the show. 2 episodes a week is also cool. So we get a little more action, get like a full, 45, 50 minutes a week. So I'm excited.
What about you, JD?
Yeah, I really want to see him continue to manipulate the multiple syndicates, because that was really cool how he put Demas and
Vario.
Vario against each other. I thought that was awesome, and I want to see more of that play out. I like to think that the ending the show is like, how does he really get control of all the criminal empires? So I do want to see all that, because correct me if I'm wrong, you guys more in tune with the Clone War stuff. Is this? Oh no, they already said it in the show, so he already was the criminal, mastermind.
This is post Revenge of the Sith. Yeah,
that brought all them together. Then he lost it, and now Krim has it all right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he's going to try to get it back, and I think that's a cool thing to do with this show. A cool story to tell with Maul taking over the criminal empire again. And I would love to see Vader, of course. I would never not want to see Vader. He's my boy. So you throw Vader in there, I'm going to be happy.
I think this is the only show I've ever said that I don't want to see Vader in.
Maul and Vader never faced off. Come on.
Yeah, I know, and there's a reason for that, because Vader would kick his fucking ass all over the place.
It'd be closer than you think.
No, it wouldn't. Trust me. Because I had this breakdown with Clan Brandalorian when I was on his episode, because I'm doing that every week with him while the show's on. And there are only 2 times when Maul has faced other lightsaber holders and won. Apart from that, he lost every battle he's ever had with another lightsaber holder. So he beat Qui-Gon, but then obviously loses straight away to Obi-Wan. And then throughout the Clone Wars, he has various face-offs with Kenobi. And obviously he does beat him sometimes, but he had the help of Savage. So in terms of one-on-ones, he beats obviously Vizsla, but Vizsla isn't a Force user, so you can say he probably should have done that. He gets beaten by Sidious, he gets beaten by Dooku, he gets beaten by Ahsoka. He then obviously beats the Inquisitors in Rebels, but gets beaten by Kanan. He gets beaten by Ezra in Rebels as well, and then gets killed by Obi-Wan at the end of it. So his ratio of win to losses in lightsaber fights is not good, and he's never faced anyone, apart from Sidious, he's never faced anyone as powerful as Vader. So,
he's putting people over. He's doing his job. He's making the Jedi look good.
You can't convince me of this, love. You can put your weak-ass argument out there all you want. He would not beat Vader. And that's, I mean...
No, he wouldn't be Vader.
There is maybe one point when they do come up against together, because obviously in that, in the Rebels, Twilight of the Apprentice episode, he talks about how he knows Vader's powerful and he can't take him on his own. So there must be an occasion where they do cross paths.
Yeah.
But I would maybe want that later, put that in season 2 or 3 of this. Let him just have the Inquisitors in this one. And then maybe, it's one of the ways that they end the show is just he runs away with his tail between his legs to his criminal syndicate because Vader pops up after the Inquisitors have failed him. And he just goes for him, and Maul escapes with his fucking the scrape of his life at the bottom of it, because Vader would whoop him.
If that chick from Jedi Fallen or Jedi Survivor, what's her name? With the
Jedi Survivor,
the lady who fights Vader at the end, she held her own. Seer. That's about the same timeline, same year. She held her own against Vader for a couple minutes, so Maul could do it.
No. I mean, you said she held it for a couple of minutes.
And then she died.
I mean, the first attempt, he threw her off a ledge. And she made it back as a surprise attack, and still, if it had gone on any longer, he would have overpowered her. So you can still make arguments all your loved ones, because I'm going to back them the fuck out of here.
They're straw man.
But yeah, so I mean, this is going to be an interesting series. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm happy to see obviously more Star Wars in general, even if it is a regurgitation of the same character rather than anything new. It's not going to be breaking any new ground. It's just there for pure excitement. Like JD said at the start, the horror vibe to this is quite cool. It seems like being a lot more savage with him taking down people or droids or whatever than they have maybe been in previous shows, even though they say Clone Wars is for kids. Too much death in it to be for kids, really. And we see a lot of people die, and this is going to be no different. So I'm excited for this. Rotten Tomatoes gave this 100%.
Whoa.
I know that, and IMDb gave it 8.5 out of 10 for the first 2 episodes.
Lamar.
I think 100% is wild. It's absolutely wild. Like, the first episode to me was better than the second, but I know it's early doors, but where would you guys rate this at the moment out of 10 for the first couple of episodes?
I mean,
And
what
its
did they
potential?
rate like Clone Wars season 7 finale? That wasn't even 100, and that's like twice as good as what this is. Like, it's good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's.
I'd rate it like a
it's-
7,
it's-
probably
If
7
it's
out of
Rotten
10.
Tomatoes, that just means 100% of people liked it, right? It's not like it's
No,
got
no.
100% out of 100.
No, 100%. Right? Yeah, it's one.
Of
one-
people liked it though, right?
Yeah,
It's not like
100% of the
one-
people. It's not everyone rated it 100%. It's 100% of the people that said they liked it. It's not that every
Yeah.
person that went on there gave it 100%. So it's that
Right.
all of them went on there and said that they liked it. Yeah, the opening episode of Maul is one of the highest ranked individual Star Wars episodes of all time currently. I don't think it should be that high, but that's what it is at the moment. I think is it more people start to watch it, and as the series goes on, that will drop down. I don't think it will stay that high. But right now,
Breaking Bad will
everyone says
come in.
it's got promise.
Breaking Bad fans will come in and review bomb.
Yeah, probably.
But no, this show reminds me if Star Wars Outlaws had Maul as the main character going against the Pikes and the Hutts, that would be
Dude.
such a sick game. Maul could be the
Dude.
perfect person for a video game,
Yeah.
going against the
I
crime
agree.
syndicate instead of this random chick with a robot friend. Like, give us something good.
That'd be
Damn it.
awesome.
Actually, that's a really good call. To be fair, absolutely 100% agree on that. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't think about that when you've got Maul and the crime syndicates. Like, yeah, you absolutely
there.
could have done that.
Anyways,
But I think that pretty much wraps it up for our Maul coverage for this week. You'll probably likely see Maul attached to Week in Geeks moving forward rather than standalone episodes, unless it happens to be something particularly epic, simply because we have got so much going on at the moment. I mean, this is my 6th recording in the last 5 days because we've got so much going on. Obviously, I've been guesting on other shows, as well as we did a double episode the other day of The Boys and Daredevil back to back. And so we've got that going on for the next month. So we've got more going on. We're doing some comic book reviews as well as we get closer to Secret Wars. We've got Supergirl on the way as well, haven't we, JD? As well as, if we can maybe fit it in, we might do Welcome Back Frank Punisher comic review before the special drops. I'm not sure if we'll have time, but we've got so much to fit in. It's unreal. Because we've all got families and a life apart from Lub, so maybe Lub should start reading.
I can't.
He can't read,
Don't know
that's
how.
the issue. But as always, keep up to date on what we're going to be covering, because you can find us on Instagram, TikTok. I was going to say Twitch then. That's wrong. I'm used to saying Twitch on my old show. Sorry. Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube. You can find episodes dropping every Tuesday that we've done live on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere else. JD, just remind me quickly, is it Panabound Comics if you use the code WhySoCity so you can get yourself a little discount?
Absolutely, yes.
So if you want to treat yourself to some comic books at the moment of everything that's going on, get over to Panabound Comics, use the code WhySoCidious, get yourself a cheeky little discount and cash in on that as well. So WhySoCidious is here not just to give you the nerd news, not just to review your favourite episodes, not just to review your favourite comics, but to help you and give you a discount as well. And then you can use that money that you saved and head over to the WhySoCidious merch website, and you can then get yourself a cheeky t-shirt, a cup, a mug, a hoodie, whatever you want. Everything's here. WhySoCidious is here to serve all of it. Okay, but thank you very much for joining us. You'll catch us very soon again on WhySoCidious, a Nerd Podcast.